Good morning and welcome back to another art lesson. Today we are going to be making some optical illusion artwork. So what we are going to need for today is you are going to need a blank piece of white paper, a pencil, some items that are circle in shape that you can trace or you can freehand if you need to, a black marker, crayons and markers, and a ruler if you have one. If you don't have a ruler, you can use the edge of a book, you can use the edge of a folder or a notebook, whatever will give you a nice straight edge. So to get us started, we are going to be using our circle stencil. It doesn't matter what size it is, but you're going to arrange these circles on your paper so they do not touch and they do not go off the page. So you're just going to kind of spread them out a little bit. They can all be different sizes. So some can be large, some can be small. It's your choice. Ooh, excuse me. Just use what you have. Last one, because I can't fit any more. All right. Fix any little spots that need to be fixed. Okay. Once you have your circles drawn, what we are going to do is we are going to divide all of them in half using a vertical line. A vertical line goes up and down, nice and straight. We are not using a ruler for this. We are just freehanding it. Once you have this done, then what you are going to do is you're going to add two curved lines to this side because it's going to follow this line of the circle. These lines do not touch each other. And then I'm going to go on this side and do two more lines, but they're going to curve this way. So you should end up with like a globe looking circle. So you're going to do that on all of your circles. So go ahead and do that. And if I'm ever going too fast, you can just pause the video. And make sure they curve. They're not just straight lines. They have to curve. Alrighty. Once you've done that, then we're going to do that same step again, but this time your line is going to go across the center. So now you're going to draw a horizontal line. Okay, and then these lines are going to curve up. So I've got one line that curves up, two line that curves up, and then the bottom curves the other way. And if it's easier for you, you can just turn your paper and then it's just like the same thing you were doing before. I like to turn my paper because I think it's easier to pull the pencil towards myself. And it's going to give you a nice smooth line if you do it that way. But it's your choice, however you feel comfortable. Last one. Alrighty. Once you have this done, then what you're going to do is you are going to get out your marker and you are just going to trace over top of everything you just did. Remember, we're going to start with pencil because if you make a mistake, you can erase it. If you were to start with a Sharpie, you can't erase it. And then it's really difficult to fix. Alrighty, I got the outside of my circle. Keep going all the way around. Okay, and you're going to do that on all of your circles. If you have any pencil lines, go in and erase them. You don't want them to show through. Okay, once you have all of those traced, then we're going to color those circles in. So you're going to get out your markers and your crayons. You can also use colored pencils instead of crayon. That's up to you. So you're just going to pick like one of your favorite colors, and we're going to color this in like a checkerboard. So I'm going to start here on the very edge of that circle. Okay, and I'm going to color in that first box. And then I skip, and then I color in, and then I skip, and then I color in. Now I'm going to go to the second row. Do I start with marker? No, because you can't put two markers together. So I have to skip it and then do marker because we want it to look like a checkerboard. And if you accidentally make a mistake, not a big deal. Just try to get back on track for your next one. But this is a project where you really, really have to pay attention to what you're doing and where you're coloring. So it's best to work in maybe a quiet room where you can really concentrate on where you're coloring. Now you could do all of these circles the same color, or they can all be different colors. That's your choice. So if you want all of them to be orange, go for it. If you want one orange, one blue, one green, that's up to you. You're the artist. You decide. Alrighty, almost done, getting there. And this is not a one-day project, so you don't have to go fast and finish it right away. You take your time, go slow, take a break, come back to it later. Okay, so I'm done with the marker. And now I'm going to pick the matching colored crayon. And I'm really, really lightly coloring in those white squares. Just like barely touching my paper, filling it in. You're going to do that on all of your circles. Now, if you don't want to use crayon for this and you want to use colored pencil, that's fine. No big deal. Use what you have. Okay, once you have all of the circles colored in, then we have to start working on the background. So if you want to take a break, finishing this would probably be a good time to take a break, and then you can come back to it. But if you want to keep working and keep moving along, then I'm going to show you the next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my ruler up with the very edge of the paper. Again, if you don't have a ruler, then you can just do this freehand, or you could use a notebook or a folder. And I'm just going to draw a straight line that goes down. I don't draw that line through the circle. I pick up my pencil. I'm going to put my ruler back on that line and continue. Keep going. You're going to do this all the way across your paper. And it doesn't have to be totally perfect. Make sure you're holding down that ruler or that straight edge really, really tight so it doesn't move or slide on you. Keep going. Okay, and I'm all the way at the edge, so that's where I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to do the same thing, just going the other way. So you're really just creating one giant checkerboard for your background. One more. Okay, so that is where I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm just going to trace right over those lines. If you want, you can take your ruler and just put it really close to that line and then trace so that you still get that nice straight line on the background. And if you accidentally get off of your pencil line, it's okay. You can always go back in and erase. So I went off just a tad bit there, just a little bit here. Okay, so you're gonna trace the whole background. I'm not tracing the whole background because I want you guys to be able to have time to work on yours. Now, you're gonna pick a different colored marker for your background. Don't pick a color that you've already used. Pick a new one. So let's say I'm gonna do pink. So I'm just gonna color in this first square. Oops, my light's turned off. Hang on a second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm just gonna finish coloring in these squares. And you're just gonna do the same thing you did before. You're just creating a checkerboard with your background now. Now, am I gonna color this one in using marker too? No, I'm gonna skip it. And then I'm just gonna work straight across the page. And then skip it, and then do the next one. Make sure you're coloring in the square all the way. Okay, let's just pretend that I did that first row. Then I'm ready for the second row. Am I gonna color this one in using marker? No, because I have marker right above it. But guess what? You don't see this square because that circle covers it up. So I skip it. This square also covered up. Okay, right here. This one is what I need to color in because above it, I don't have marker. So I know I'm supposed to color this one in. So sometimes it might play tricks on you and you're gonna have to slow down and really pay close attention to where you're supposed to color. That one will stay white because I have marker above it. So now I restart on this new row. Skip it, color. Skip it, color. So I think you guys are probably getting the idea here. Okay, so once you have that done, then you're going to take the matching crayon and color in those white boxes now. So you shouldn't have any white spaces on your project. They should all be filled in. All right, so let's just pretend that I'm done and I have filled up my entire paper. Once you have everything colored in, there's no white spots, and you've done the best you can, take a quick photo of it, upload it into Google Classroom, and then I will look at it, grade it, and send you feedback, and you can continue on to the new project. or you can go back and revise this one depending on the comments that I left you. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you work. If you have any questions, reach out or email me. Thanks.